So the big question as of late is, how are people getting by? How are people surviving? How are people managing in this economy? And, that's the big question. I got a few clips. Check them out, and I'll come back with my commentary.
Not even living paycheck to paycheck in Pennsylvania. I'm negative every single month. And it's crazy because I'm still a student, so I know that $25 an hour is decent because some people are making like $15 an hour, which I don't even know how I would survive off of that. After taxes, I make about $3,397. Then you have to do your rent, your utilities, groceries, dog food, car insurance, car payment, gas, health insurance, miscellaneous stuff. And somehow I'm at negative 1,300, 1,400 before I even go do fun things.
How are y'all affording stuff right now? I feel like we're not talking enough about this. Everything is so freaking expensive, and I don't know what the heck. I know I'm not the only one going through this. I mean, from groceries, clothes, everything is so expensive right now, and it's literally by the grace of God that me and my family are surviving. I can't imagine what it's like for somebody who doesn't make the type of money that I make, and I don't even make a lot of money. But like, this is really a struggle. How are we surviving?
I have a part-time role as the executive director for my local resource center, and one of the parts of my role is providing crisis assistance to people who are needing help with their rent, utilities, and just various bills that, if it's not paid, it will impede on their life. It's really interesting to have been in this role for as long as I have, because quarter over quarter, which is how we receive funding, the need has increased drastically in the last 3 quarters, 2 quarters even more so, where we are running out of funds every quarter. And the bills and outstanding balances that people are accruing, it's so bad. The assistance that I was providing in the beginning, I was able to cover the whole bill, if not the majority of it, and then they were solid for the rest of it. But now it is like, these outstanding balances have gotten so high, and my heart just aches because the economy, the job market, cost of living, food insecurity, housing insecurity, everything has just gotten so bad where it is no longer livable. Like, people cannot live their lives. Empathize deeply for the people that are coming to me with families, because I feel like where we were at a year ago, 2 years ago, it was like their overhead was livable. They could make it work. But with the way that things have just increased, it's not livable anymore. And these kids are school age, right? It's not like they just had these children, but it's just gotten so bad.
Things that I no longer do as a person with new money in this economy. First thing, I absolutely will never again spend money on bottle service or sections, especially in a city that I live in. Now, if we out the country, run it. Let's have a good time. But that's just really not my scene or my crowd anymore. It just doesn't make sense financially. It's the dumbest shit to spend your money on, especially as a young man trying to build wealth. 2, I would absolutely never spend money on a car note. If you can't buy it outright, go find you a used vehicle that you can actually afford. A $750 car note is the biggest wealth killer in America. If you think about it, a $30,000 car ends up being about $40,000 to $45,000 once you finish paying back all the interest. You ended up paying almost $10,000 in interest for a car now to be worth $15,000. Number 3, not checking my bank account. I don't care how much money I'm making now. I check my shit twice a week minimum. I think you would be surprised at the amount of mistakes, right? When you go to restaurants, bars, subscriptions, and they double charge you or triple charge you. You missed it because you never check your bank account. And no, 1 or 2 mishaps won't hurt you, but think about over a year, it could be $300-400, all because you don't check your account. You have to check on your money. You have to treat your money like your wife, because if you neglect it, it surely will leave you. Number 4, I don't buy a new iPhone, iPad, iPods. I don't buy every new electronic every time something new comes out. That is called consumerism. Consumerism is the perfection of slavery. That's how they keep your brain and your wallet chained. It's okay to miss some shit. Your iPhone 16 works just as good as the iPhone 17. Then lastly, I stopped hanging around people who just don't got shit going on. If you spend time around people building businesses, investing, chasing their goals, you'll inevitably level up. If all we got in common is drinking and watching sports, I gotta clip it. It don't serve me at this stage of my life. You gotta stop being loyal to people who are loyal to always being out of position. I hope this video helps. Peace.
The United States has become extremely unsustainable. It's time that we have this conversation. I know that we're not all out here surviving and thriving like we portray on the internet. You go in the grocery store, you go grab a couple of items, it's $100. Rent across the United States is all the same. I remember when you used to be able to look at like cities, like big metropolitan cities, even like medium metropolitan cities, and they would have a different rate than, say smaller cities. Now I can talk to someone that lives in Kansas and someone that lives in Oklahoma, and I live in Atlanta, and they're paying anywhere from $1,500 to $2,000. There's no reason why someone that lives in the middle of Kansas should be paying the same price that we pay in a metro city. It's exhausting. Like, did y'all see that Klarna just reported that they are like losing money because people are not paying their Klarna bills? That credit card debt is super high. That's because everybody's robbing Peter to pay Paul just to afford the necessities like food. God forbid that you want to just keep yourself up. Like, we're not talking anything super expensive. We're just talking like keeping your hair cut or getting your nails done, getting your toes done, maybe picking a nice style once a month for your hair. You can't afford those things as much anymore. Start doing self-care at home. And if you go make more money, you're still not seeing the money. Let's discuss in the comments because it's getting a little crazy out here.
This is why even if you're making the same money in here, you still feel broke. Let's start with an average monthly take-home pay of $4,200. So let's start with housing. So whether you're trying to rent in Pittsburgh or buying a home in Philly, a house that used to cost about $1,200 some years ago now costs you about $2,100. I know because I paid $2,300 for mine. And that's because of the increase in interest rates across board. And that's not just what eats your paycheck. You have groceries for the month. For a family of 5, I pay way more than $500 a month. And then toss in car insurance, car payments, utility bills, and then I have less than $800 for savings for emergencies to splurge a little bit or even to eat out. It's safe to say I'm just trying to afford rent and survive. I'm not living comfortably. So pay as long as affordable as they used to say.
I know this is nothing new, but I am just flabbergasted every time I leave the grocery store by the price of groceries at Walmart in the Green Bay, Wisconsin area. I mean, it used to be so affordable to live here, but these prices have gotten so out of hand. And I mean, these are Walmart grocery prices. Walmart. What are we doing about this?
This is how expensive utilities are in the United States. More specifically, I live in the state of Florida, where my utility bill has been going up and up and up at an unsustainable pace. So I've been trying to conserve water, and I've been taking track of all of my usage, and that hasn't helped. I spent so much time conserving water the other month, and we saved a total of $2. So I've just completely given up at this point until I move abroad to Europe. But in the meantime, let's figure out how much I'm paying this month for water, sewage, and garbage collection. All right, I got my bill here. I love how they always give me a little extra pamphlet of just telling me how to conserve water and save money. It seems really condescending, you know? Like, we know your bill's going up, but by the way, there's a public meeting about how your bill's going to go up more, but here's how to turn off a faucet when you're done using water. Yeah, thanks. All right, so this month I am paying, drum roll please, $262.87. High score! We just got another high score! That's amazing. I love burning money on a basic human necessity. And before people comment, no, I don't have a leak. I am monitoring my water in and out. This bill is correct. The water itself costs $51.32. The sewer, more expensive, $86.84. Total garbage, including collection and disposal, $36.62. Reclaimed water for the sprinklers, $42.24. And then we get into all the fun stuff like the fees and the taxes. And then we get our grand total up $262.87. I can't afford this. This is insane. I mean, who can actually afford this every single month? You know, 5 years ago, that bill was less than half of that. This is unsustainable. Let me know where you live in the world and how much a month you pay on utilities, because I can guarantee most of the people commenting outside of the United States, their bill is going to be lower. A lot lower.
A lot of parents are so out of touch with reality about the struggles that their kids have to go through nowadays in regards to cost of living not matching cost of labor. I'm an accounting major, right? I'm in my last year. I have an internship coming up in December, right? If it wasn't for that internship, I genuinely don't know how I would even be able to pursue, anything in this career. Because when I tell you I applied to over 300 internships, networked with the recruiters, they know my name, okay? They told me apply online. Didn't get a single position. That happened so many times, bro. And I would tell my parents about it and emphasize it. And my parents would be like, oh, you're probably just not doing enough, You're just not doing enough. And to be quite frank with you, it's really not that bad right now. You can afford a lot of stuff. I had to give them an example of a family member that's close to us, right? And he's in the same field as me. And he graduated in like 1980 something. In 1992, he bought himself a Porsche 911. Right, a Porsche 911. A one-bedroom, one-bathroom apartment with $400 a month in Miami Beach. Nonetheless, car insurance was $100. The Porsche 911 monthly payment, mind you, was like $400, and the Porsche was like $60,000. Bro was making $45K right off the bat out of college. For those of you guys that want to know just how much that is today, that should be like $105K right out the gate, okay? Today. But no, instead, cars are through the fucking roof, okay? A lot of jobs are underpaying or offshoring. There's more people that are looking to get hired than positions that are hiring. And just in general, everything is expensive, and that's something a lot of parents, including mine, are just out of touch with. Like I said, I got lucky because I have an internship coming up, and that should help me, land a job or get a return offer and something like that. But bro, if it was not for that, I don't know what I would be doing. Like, I would probably be having an early life crisis right now. I'm not gonna hold you.
Okay, so there you have it. So people are really figuring it out. People are really just getting back to the basics and just really being mindful on how they're spending their money and just watching their bank account. And it seems really unfortunate because most people want to live a good quality of life or just have fun or just have a little bit of downtime, go out on if you got a partner, go out on a date, and just really, enjoy life. But it's unfortunate that we have to always kind of look at watch our spending and not enjoy the quote unquote fruits of our labor, right? Leave a comment down below, if you done got back to the basics and just really just start watching what you spend, or, or if you just like still trying to figure it out, I think on the upside too, if you have a partner too that's actually helping you out too, that's a plus, especially if you have somebody that's just as conscious on your spending as you are, that helps a lot. So all right, y'all, I really appreciate y'all hearing what I gotta say, and I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.